In the minds of many, New York City stands as the most vivid symbol of modern, dynamic, and pioneering urban life. With over 18 million residents and millions of tourists each year, New York is not only a global financial hub, it's also a city heavily reliant on public transportation, with the subway system at the very heart of it all. Yet, contrary to its image as a modern, progressive metropolis, New York's subway today has become a symbol of filth, chaos, and alarming decay. It's a bitter irony that every local and international visitor can immediately sense the moment they step into a station deep in the heart of Manhattan. And welcome back to Kaihuine Insights. Today we're taking you to New York City to explore the metro and what it really says about the state of American infrastructure. Let's start at station number 904, a landmark in the transportation history of the land of the free. Despite becoming a global superpower, America still lacks one crucial piece of infrastructure in its most glamorous city: a modern, standard subway system. At the time, London had already built and was operating 7 underground lines, while Paris had 3. So, naturally, Americans couldn't let themselves fall too far behind their European counterparts. That year, New Yorkers gathered in excitement for the grand opening of the city's first ever metro line in what would come to be known as the Big Apple. According to news reports at the time, over 100,000 New Yorkers attended the event, each holding one of the very first subway tickets, priced at just 5 cents. And that marked the beginning of what would become one of the largest public transportation systems in the world. To this day, the New York subway network spans over 1,000 kilometers of track, boasts more than 470 stations, and operates 36 lines, the most in the world. With over 10,000 trains running daily, serving around 6 million passengers, 24/7, the metro, better known to locals simply as the subway, has become the lifeline that connects this enormous city with remarkable speed and convenience. In this bustling metropolis, you're never far from transit. Walk just 500 meters in any direction, and you'll likely run into a subway station, much like the experience of Parisians in their own city. Thanks to the subway, New Yorkers have become one of the most pedestrian-dependent urban populations in the world, using their feet as their primary mode of transportation, just like in the earliest days of cities. It's quick, convenient, and fuel-free, with no need to worry about gas prices or nightmarish traffic jams. Seen from a broader perspective, New York's subway system is nothing short of the backbone that has reshaped the city's identity. From a city once dominated by horse-drawn carriages and later by fume-spewing cars, New York has evolved into one of the most high-capacity urban systems on the planet, matched by only a handful of cities like Shanghai, Seoul, Tokyo, and Hong Kong. And yet, after more than a century of service, New York's subway is now increasingly seen as a joke, not just by tourists, but by the very people who rely on it daily. According to an editor friend of mine at Kaihuine Insights, he's never had a worse subway experience than in New York, despite having ridden trains in Tokyo, Paris, London, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. One of the biggest flaws? Much of the system's infrastructure still relies on mid-20th century technology. For example, the signaling system, critical for coordinating train movement, is still mechanical on many lines, using technology from the 1930s to 1950s. As a result, technical glitches, train delays, and minor accidents happen on a daily basis. And yet, they've become so routine that most city dwellers simply shrug them off. But this aging infrastructure doesn't just waste people's time. It also carries a very real risk of fatal accidents. Still, no conversation about New York's subway system is complete without mentioning the infamous trifecta: filth, homelessness, and crime. When it comes to dirt, the contrast between New York's subway and its European counterparts is like night and day. We're talking a whole different universe here. New York's subway isn't just acceptably dirty. It has earned a category of its own. It's a place where you might literally encounter human waste on benches or in station corners. According to the Metropolitan Transit Authority, in 2023 alone, sanitation crews had to clean up over 40 tons of trash per day on average. That's a staggering figure, even by minimal public hygiene standards. It's not uncommon to find viral videos on social media showing passengers dodging puddles of urine inside train cars, or walking past piles of rotting garbage at stairwells leading into stations. Many New Yorkers have even developed an internal radar to avoid notoriously filthy stations like 125th Street in Harlem or 42nd Street near Times Square, which are often described as urban slums in the heart of the city. And one of the biggest contributors to the filth? Rats. Not just on the tracks, but inside the train cars themselves. A survey conducted by Transit Center found that nearly 66% of riders had seen rats scurrying across subway floors or even leaping onto seats, especially during the winter months. As temperatures drop, the underground stations become warm safe havens for these rodent residents who've made the New York subway their own kingdom. There are countless viral videos, some with millions of views, showing rats nibbling on sandwiches, crawling over people's shoes, even slipping into passengers' coat pockets. But if rats are the true rulers of New York's underground world, then the homeless are undeniably the most critical element in the city's subway's unholy trifecta: filth, homelessness, and crime. In 2025, one of the most viral videos across the United States was of a homeless man, pants torn to shreds, trying to steal from fellow subway passengers. With pants that tattered, I'd wager his underwear hasn't seen a laundry cycle or a replacement for at least 3 years. And just the thought of that, well, his Peter probably smells worse than a sewer rat soaked in cilantro. Anyway, back to the real story. According to city data, over 4,000 homeless individuals sleep in the New York subway system every single night, as of 2023. That number marks a 40% increase since 2019, and it's only gone upward since the COVID-19 pandemic. The subway has become a sort of temporary shelter, except it's permanent. The Transit Authority reports that, aside from those who sleep or loiter regularly, hundreds of homeless people ride the subway daily, shifting from line to line just to avoid being removed by police. Major stations like Penn Station, Grand Central, and especially Jamaica Station have long been hotspots for the unhoused who linger around, napping, wandering, or asking for money. Have you ever watched The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith? If so, you probably remember that gut-wrenching scene where he and his son are so desperate they spend the night locked in a subway bathroom, just to survive the freezing cold of a New York winter. And that is why the homeless often turn to the subway as their temporary shelter that ends up becoming permanent reality. It truly is. The subway system operates nearly 24/7, with shelter overhead, more stable temperatures than the streets, especially during brutal winters. But most importantly, for those with nothing in their pockets, it's free. A Metro card can be borrowed, stolen, or you can just slip in behind someone at the turnstile. Fare evasion in Western countries? It might as well be considered a sport. Once inside, a homeless person can just ride the trains endlessly, sleeping through loops around the city without any effective oversight. On sub-zero nights, the subway becomes the only realistic shelter for someone with nowhere else to go. But this overwhelming presence of the unhoused inevitably leads to the final corner of New York Metro's unholy triangle: crime. In 2024, the entire nation was shaken by footage of a woman sleeping on her train ride, only to be turned into a human torch, burned alive by a drunken, out-of-control Guatemalan illegal immigrant. Horrifying and sickening were the only words people could find to describe not just the act itself, but the state of public safety in New York's subway system. But let's be honest, New Yorkers didn't need 2024 to realize how dangerous their subway has become. Thousands of videos show scenes of broad daylight muggings, knife attacks, and of course, this is America. So there are always the sweet parties of flying bullets and bloodbaths splattered across platforms and tunnels. Mayor after mayor has promised to increase police presence in the subway system. But in reality, security is still far too thin for a network of this scale and density. Surveillance cameras in many stations are outdated or missing altogether, and rapid response teams, well, they often show up only after the damage is done. A 2023 report by the Metropolitan Transit Authority admitted that fewer than 50% of subway stations had regular police presence. And crimes, they tend to happen precisely during hours when oversight is weakest. This stands in stark contrast to other major subway systems around the world. Forget competing with Hong Kong, Shanghai, or Tokyo. Even falling behind Paris is an embarrassment for a city that prides itself on being the capital of the modern world. In Paris, subway crimes are mostly petty theft. In New York, anything you can imagine is on the menu. Just in 2022, there were 10 cases involving fatalities within the subway system. The most alarming was a shooting spree on the N line in Brooklyn, which left 29 people full of unexpected lead content. Then there's the recurring horror of people being shoved onto the tracks during random altercations, a phenomenon that has become disturbingly common. I won't even dive too deep into the pickpocketing and muggings, because let's face it, they happen so often they've become part of the scenery. With nearly 5,000 cases of pickpocketing and over 500 full-blown robberies reported every year, I think it's safe to say the message is loud and clear. But what's even more terrifying is a form of crime that sounds like it belongs in a porn thriller film, yet it's all too real in the New York subway. Sexual assault. In 2022 alone, there were nearly 600 reported cases of sexual offenses in the subway system, and the numbers are steadily rising. In October 2024 alone, 160 such incidents were reported. Most of these targeted Asian women, especially on Line 4, which runs through the eastern districts, home to a large population of African American residents. As for the reason why, I'll have to politely decline to elaborate. Because the New York subway has already become a decaying symbol of the American urban dream. It lays bare the cracks in urban governance, the widening divide between rich and poor, center and periphery, infrastructure spending and the future, and worst of all, a stubborn refusal to evolve. A public transportation system can't be called modern if it fails to provide hygiene, safety, and basic dignity to its users. There was a time when the subway represented energy, progress, and modernity in New York. But today, it reflects everything that's become stagnant, chaotic, and filthy about American public administration. This is no longer about slow trains or even immigration debates. It's about how one of America's leading cities is actively failing to maintain the most fundamental needs of its citizens. A mode of transportation that is safe, clean, efficient, and civilized. Without fundamental reform, New York's subway is destined to drift further into history, a tragic monument to the downfall of a once world-class metropolis. But what about you? What do you think about this system? Let us know in the comments below. And for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.